What's up? Hey, welcome to Actors Daily Bread. This is episode 148. Today I'm teaching you how to hold for commercials. So stay tuned. Okay. So listen, welcome back. Happy Monday, post Thanksgiving, post holiday. I am Christine Horn. I am your life and career coach and professional actress, a coach for actors. This is Actors Daily Bread, where I teach you how to crush your auditions, book more work, and live a life that you love. And this is episode 148. If you are new to me, I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you to Actors Daily Bread. To all my replay watchers who will watch this later, what's up? Replay watchers? Love you guys. I hope you had a great holiday. If you celebrated that, if you're in the States, got my little decaf green tea here. I got a lot more talking to do. Right after I finish this live, I'm hopping over to do a hot seat Q&A with my Booking Magnet Academy members. If you're not a part of that academy and you want my training for a very minimal fee, we're at $27 a month now for coaching and training. That is something you may want to look into, Booking Magnet Academy. I'm going to get into the content today. Hold on. Oh, that's good. It's really about the honey, though, for me. Any tea lovers in the house? What's up, Denise? I see you watching. Hey, guys. Well, come on. Hop on in. Hop on in. Hop on in. I just added my new paper backdrop. Goes all the way to the floor, as you can see. We moved recently, as some of you may know. And I used to always do the sheet. I used to have one of those pop-up backdrops. I've done curtains in the past. I've done all kinds of stuff. I just upgraded. I call them up because I'm tired of ironing. So I got that. So I'm excited about that. So I'm testing it out, even though I'm not on my real camera. I'm on the computer. But I want to get into the content. And I was really thinking about what I wanted to share with you guys and what I wanted to teach. Lemon ginger. I like a lemon ginger, Denise. Me too. So I was thinking about what I wanted to, give you guys today. And I know we have office hours in the group. So probably after I get done with my teaching point, I'll answer some of the office hours questions from Hollywood Bound actors. So if you're watching this and you're on Facebook and you're not a part of the Hollywood Bound actors Facebook community, I'll write it in the comments. Hollywood Bound actors. Just put that in the search bar and you can come join an amazing group of actors from around the globe. And so as you know, we're still in episodic season, even though Thanksgiving is here. Some of you may have had a lot of auditions right before the holiday. There's still going to be some coming up, so that can get in before Christmas time. So things will shut down around December 18th, December 20th. So there's still time to practice and work. And I wanted to talk to you about holding for commercial, okay? Holding for commercial. So Christine, what do you mean? So I often talk about, especially when everything I do is about on camera. So this will apply even if you have an in-person audition, because my method is you do exactly what you would do on camera at home and on a self-tape in person. Because why? When you go in person, casting has a camera as well. They're taping you. And at the end of the day, they're going to go back and look at all the people that they brought in person and look at you where on camera. And a lot of times, even when you're in the room, especially in producer sessions, you could be in the room and there's a monitor there and there's a reader maybe reading to you there, but then the other people are looking at you on the monitor, or the casting director is looking at you on the monitor. They're not so enthralled with what you're just doing in person. And so I always have to remind actors about that, especially my clients. It's not just about winning the room and like with your pizzazz when you walk in. It's like, what are you doing on this thing right here? That's what I'm always talking about. So when I say holding for commercial, I want to give you some homework, especially it's the holidays. I know this stuff is going to be on television. I want you to study two people. And I'm going to get into it, but I want you to study two people. I want you to study, and put it in the, I might spell her name wrong, Mariska Hargitay. Come on, we're saying Hargitay from SVU, Law and Order. And then I want you to study Kiefer Sutherland from 24 or Designated Survivor. Okay, that's your homework. Why? Here's why. study them. They have this wonderful way of holding for commercial and drawing you in. It almost has a slight soap opera feel, but not too extreme. But those are the two people I want you to study. I want you to at least watch one or two things that they're in. Like I said, Law and Order SVU is on all day, every channel. I mean, those residual checks, oh God, gotta be so lovely. So I want you to study Mariska Hargitay specifically, who's the star of the show, because she's really great at it. I'm gonna give you an example in a second. Hey, David Allen, how are you? Thank you for popping on. So as you guys hop on, say hello. Don't be shy. You know, ain't no need to be shy with me, y'all. Come on, say hi. Come on in the room. And then Kiefer Sutherland is another master at it as well. So here's what I mean. Oftentimes, you may be taping yourself, doing a self-tape, or you might even be in an audition. And it gets worse when you're in person because you have all these extra things like nerves, anxiety, all that kind of stuff that can mess with your performance and mess with your mind, which messes with your performance. So let's just start first when we're at home or in a self-tape studio situation, right? So you have your scene, and let's see something. My bucket O scripts. Some of this is so new. I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. Hold on. Let me get a piece. Let me get a script I can actually read out loud. Hold on. Hold on. I have this bin under my desk to shred scripts. Guys, don't just throw scripts in like the trash can, because it could be some, you know, plot twist, and then somebody finds it in your trash and your name is watermarked on it, and I just don't ever want nothing coming back to me. So this is something really old. So I'm just gonna get a line that you can practice with. Hey Tarnisha, thank you for joining. I'm gonna get a line you can practice with. Let's see, we're gonna get a line we're gonna practice, and then we're gonna hold for commercial. What makes me think you know so much about me? Okay, let's pretend we just found out, you know, maybe the police are at our house and they're telling us that they're inquiring about where your son was, right? For my kids, you can reverse it with a parent, right? So the police say, we know who killed your son. It was John Smith. John Smith. Your line is John Smith. That's my husband. Right? Okay, let's just play with that. So kids, if for my parents, I know you have some kids here. So for my kids, you can be like, John Smith, that's my dad. Okay? So those are the lines, right? Just play with me for a second. So this is for we're talking TV. We're not talking film, because film doesn't cut to commercial, right? Not really when it's on TV yet, but TV, network television, cable, all that. Okay, I'm coming closer. So police just says, I'm gonna pretend maybe the police is to my left, and maybe there's two police officers. Maybe there's one, and I'm using one on each camera, because that's how I would do it if I were taping. And so police officer one says, we know who the killer is. Who is it? John Smith. John Smith? That's my husband. My trick for you is to count to 3. What some of you make the mistake of doing, I'm all like standing in a strange stance right now. What some of you are doing is this. Maybe, I'm not even talking about your acting, just how you're holding your last beat or button is another way I would call it. Some of you would do, John Smith? That's my husband. And then drop. With holding for commercial, why I want you to study Mariska Hargitay specifically and Kiefer Sutherland specifically is because you'll notice if Mariska had to do this, who I love, by the way, this is like not shade, like seriously, I studied him. If Mariska had to do that, I call it, I like to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. And don't forget that the camera is catching your eyes. The camera is catching your breath in the silence. And what you're doing is giving the editor in post-production an opportunity to choose where he or she wants to fade out, choose who they want to cut back to. But if you are giving them something to use, there's more opportunity for you to be on screen. That's more camera time. So let's try it again. If Mariska was doing it, she'd be like, you find out John Smith is a killer. First of all, Mariska would take a moment beforehand. John Smith's the killer. John Smith. That's my husband. You see that? Do you see the difference? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? If you understand what I'm saying, type I got it, I got it, I got it. Somebody type I got it in the chat box, so I know that you're rocking with me. And it may feel a little cheesy, but there's something that a code. I don't see no I got it in the chat box yet. Let me sip my tea so I get it. I got it. Thank you, Tarnisha, for the love. Thank you. We're talking, if you're just tuning in, this is Actors Daily Bread, the best freaking show for actors on the internet. If I do say so myself. I promise you there's nothing in this tea but a decaffeinated tea bag. I am high on life and excited to be here with each and every one of you. Yes, Tarnisha. Yes, Samantha. Samantha, yes, I got your question. I'm gonna get to it too. Yes, Marcus. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so we're holding, it's called holding for commercial. That's what I call it. That's what I call it. Because you want to give the editor something to use. And don't forget, yes, Denise. Hey, Brian, what's up? Booking Magnet in the house. Listen, so there's a part of television that I used to fight that felt like, oh, that feels a little cheesy. It feels a little elevated. And I often talk to you guys. If you're new to me, you can catch up. This is episode 148. You can catch up on YouTube and catch up on 147 episodes. But there's an element of television that is a little elevated. And then depending on what network you're auditioning for, because if it's the CW network or one of those kind of teeny bopper, superhero kind of shows on Fox or one of those networks, that can still be a little elevated. It won't have the groundedness of maybe a Netflix. I think of 7 Seconds. That just popped in my head with Regina King, how grounded that was. Or every show has a pace and a tone, right? Like a Grey's Anatomy, super fast, quick-witted, so you have to know what you're going for. But even still, there's a slight elevation. And so when I say that, it's not overacting. It's not, John, that's my husband. It's not big. You have to start being aware of what your face, I'm gonna come closer because that's where the camera is, right? We have to start really being aware of how the camera catches us. So when I was doing my Mariska example, which would have been my example too, right? You have to start practicing with your cell phone. Practice your angles. It's weird trying to look at you and do it at the same time. Instead of just always turning left, right, work on your angles, boo. Right? I'm the queen of some eyes. I know I serve eyes on camera, right? So I know if I put my chin down a little bit, like I'm thinking, and come up, it gives something else. You see that? Like I know my eyes are expressive. So you have to figure out what's expressive for you. What's your good side? What's your bad side? I don't think you have a bad side, but figure what that is. And that shows you know how to work the camera and you know how to work yourself on camera. And that's why self-tape is so important, because I don't want you to change anything you're doing in your self-tapes when you go in person. So that's why for those of you, I'm like, practice at home. If you're not taping yourself at least once a week, shame on you, and you want to work in television. Point blank, period. It doesn't matter if you have an actual audition. Get some sides, some scripts from somewhere on the internet and tape yourself all the time. Tape, you have to know what you're doing. That's how I know my eyes are fierce. Like, right? You got some breath there, right, John? What? Okay, got it. I'm not going to harp on it, but you guys need to start taping. So I want you to get your cell phone or get your full setup, right, and practice these kind of things. And so you want to hold, and like even for your auditions, this isn't just for when you book it. What you do in your self-tapes is showing producers, showing casting directors what you will do, what you can do on set. You're showing them you can do this without any direction. This is without a director. So wow, man, Brian's killing it. He knows how to work his angles. He knows how to hold for commercial. And no one's going to say hold for commercial on set, by the way. This is what I call it in my mind. I know what I'm doing. Because you never know when the director's going to yell cut. Sometimes I'll be shooting a television show and the director just wants to let me play, or he wants to just see what happens next. So don't think, oh, my line's over. Right? They're cutting yet? Like, it's not your job to cut yourself. You hold it until you hear cut, check the gate, right? Okay, awesome. Another little, Denise said, ouch, right? If you can't say amen, you just might say ouch. That's what one of my coaches, Allison Bird, says to me all the time. If you can't say amen, you just might say ouch, and it's okay. How about admitting that it's an ouch and say, you know what, I'm gonna work on that. I haven't taped in 2 months, and I ain't had no auditions. Let me tell you, work begets work. When you start putting the energy out of, no, I'm taping every day. I got my backdrop, even if it's a sheet, my sheet is ironed, ready to go. I got my lights. My clients who are working with me in my self-tape boot camp, they know I don't play no games. Like, everything has to be ready to go. When you put it out, it's telling the universe, hey, I'm ready. Bring it to me. I got it all set up. But when you are sitting complacent or making excuses as to not whatever piece of it you're not doing, that's the universe can't meet you. And I know it's something that you want in your heart. So let's just take further action every single day. The last tip I want to give you in regards to holding for commercial. So like, you got your homework. For those of you who are joining late, if you look at my comments earlier, there's 2 people I want you to study. Mariska Hargitay on Law & Order SVU. I'm sure it's on one of your many channels at home right now. And I want you to pay specific attention to when they're about to cut to commercial. That's what I want you to pay attention to. Kiefer Sutherland is another one. I love him because Kiefer just knows how to work the camera. He knows how to work his voice. Kiefer makes me feel like everything's gonna be okay. I don't care if it's 24. I don't care if it's designated survivor. I'd be like, Kiefer, you got me. Jack, what's his name? What was his name on 24? Jack something. Jack Bauer. I feel like Jack Bauer is here at all times. But Kiefer knows how to work the camera, and he knows how to hold, and he knows how to take his glasses off. I'm watching Designated Survivor right now on Netflix. I'm binging that. Honey, he knows how to take some glasses off. And I'd be like, I got to practice taking my glasses off. Like, see, this sounds really funny, but this is the stuff we have to do. It's, I talk all the time about how we steal from everybody. We steal a little of Meryl, a little of Viola, a little Denzel, or a little, Cherry Jones, a little Elizabeth, and we take pieces and pieces and pieces. Oh, I like when she did that. Oh, he killed that. Let me try that. And the thing is, you're never going to be them because you are you. There's only one you, made in a fabulous design, might I add. But by you taking a piece of this, a piece of that, piece of that, piece of that, it becomes your own method, your own technique. Lots of people out here selling their techniques. Those of you who follow me, it's like, I just share what I do. And then you're going to take what I say, eat the fish, spit out the bones, and take a little about what your other coach says and what that coach over there says, and make it a nice mix. And then we got the Denise method. We got the Tarnisha method. We got the Samantha method, right? We got the David method. You understand what I'm saying? So it's important to know it's okay. You're honoring that. You're honoring them. You're not trying to imitate them. You're like, I like when you did that. Let me try that. How do you do that? Oh yeah, that looked good on me. That looked good on me. I'm gonna keep doing that. Next audition, I'm gonna do that. And next thing you know, it's just like, wow, Brian really knows how to work the camera, right? The last fun little tip I want to give you before I wrap, because I need to, again, there's a link above or below. I did a lot of people always ask Christine, how can I work with you? What programs do you have? I know I can't afford your one-on-one because I know that's a little pricey, which it is, and worth it. But I did do a special Black Friday situation for 3 of my digital courses, Book More TV, Agent Attraction Method, and Breakout Star Academy. Shout out to those of you who have joined. I've seen that. I've seen you come in. We even have some new members in the Booking Magnet Academy. I'm doing a special for you to join for the whole year for half off. So that link is above or below if you're interested. Moving on, last tip. After I take a sip. Oh. Tea I like tea, but it's really just about that honey. It's like spaghetti's about basil for me. I like spaghetti sauce, but it really is about basil, which is why I have a basil plant outside. All right, this is a fun little tip. And you're not going to really use this so much, but in the event that you end up reading for a soap opera, because that's still television. I'm gonna end on this little funny tip someone gave me. Years ago, my first television credit actually was on Young and the Restless. I didn't realize, you don't realize how many soap opera fans there are out there until you show up on a soap opera. Even with no lines. Honey, that phone was blowing up. I was like, you watched The Young and the Restless? I was so shocked. But anyway, I had no lines. I was on 2 episodes. I was an FBI agent, shocker. And I remember just like being amazed, studying the actors and how much they had to learn in a short amount of time, and how they got one take, and they moved on. They did a rehearsal, they did one take, and they're like, moving on. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I consider myself very good at memorization, but I was like, goodness. And one of the stars of the show, I forget his name, so please forgive me, but I remember he gave me a great tip. I was like, gosh, again, it goes back to holding for commercial. And, soap operas are the king and queens of holding for commercial. His trick, he told me, he was like, the way to get the correct look is to think about what you had for lunch last Tuesday. So right now in the comments, what did you have for lunch last Tuesday? What you're probably doing right now, even though I can't see you, is like, your eyes naturally do something. And that's what they do on soap opera. So next time you watch a soap opera and they get ready to cut to commercial, they're going to be like, John. And you can be like, what did you have for lunch last Tuesday? So you're welcome. That is my random soap opera tip, but it's real, from the mouth, from the horse's mouth. That was an actual tip. Any questions? Anybody want to ask me a question? You know what I am? Since I got you guys, I have a few more minutes. I'll see if you guys put anything in the... Denise, did you do it? Brian, did you do it? Did you try to do it? I think you should, if you take out your phone and take a selfie and ask yourself that question. You can say last Saturday, last 2 weeks from 2 weeks ago. It don't matter. You're still gonna get the same result. Like, I don't know. There were some. Let me do it on my phone. There were some. I do open office hours on the 4th Monday of every month in the Hollywood Bound Actors Facebook group. And so there's always going to be a meme, like an image there. And we had some questions. So let me get to it. Here's a little known fact about me. I'd much rather talk it out than have to type it all out, because y'all be having some amazing questions. I'm just going to look at it on my phone since I don't want to have to go away. Thanks for rocking with me. Let me know what your thoughts are. Were there any ahas today? Yeah, Brian said he did it. He got the clueless face. It's awesome. That's an awesome little trick. And I learned it here in Hollywood. So, sharing it with you, share the love. Let's see if I can find the questions that were posted. Okay. So this is what it looks like. My assistant, I always have her post it. So when you see that in the Hollywood Bound Actors thread, leave a comment. It may take me a little while to get to it, but I'm gonna get to it. Okay, so I may not answer all these. Let me see. Can I tag her on this? No, I'll tag her later. This question is from Heather. And, we can always learn from people's questions that might relate to you. Hi, Christine. 2-part question related to getting a manager. Okay, this might relate to you. 1, I was referred to a manager team by a friend, and everything was looking good. I got a reply back saying that the team would look over my stuff, but then crickets. Anybody been there? I really want to follow up, but don't know the best way to. Second part of her question is, my new agent referred me to a manager that is a one-man band. That's something when I say one-man band, that means an agent or manager who just runs the whole thing by themselves. So I call that a one-man band. So I feel like it's not at all what I'm putting out that I want. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to read it. I think I'm gonna answer this privately. Sorry, guys. I think I'm gonna answer this privately. This might be a good one. Samantha, this is Samantha's question. She says, hi, Christine. She moved to LA, got an apartment, survival job. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to, God, what's his name in the group? David? Is it David who just moved to LA? I hope I'm not messing up the name. I try to, as so many of you, I try to remember. I feel like that's not his name. You know who you are. Just moved to Hollywood. Shout out to you. So she's signed with an LA agency. They don't have a New York office. I haven't, and she has an opportunity to sign with a New York agency that her LA agent shares clients with, and they work together really well. But when she brought up having a New York agent in her meeting, the LA agent said it probably wouldn't be necessary to have an agent in New York since they get all the breakdowns. So Samantha's question is, and this may relate to you, for those of you who want to work in multiple markets, is there a real benefit to having an, ooh, this is a good question. Ooh, I want to talk about, if anybody who wants to work in New York and you live somewhere else, please listen up. Let me slow down and reread it. Is it a benefit? Is there a real benefit to having a New York agent as well when your LA agency has the ability to submit you to New York projects anyways? I would not likely be able to work as a local hire in New York if that adds to the equation. Oh, Samantha, you just made this so easy for me. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. To see you guys jumping on. What's up, Gemzia? What's up, Deanne? Oh, this is such a juicy question, Samantha, and I'll end on this. And for those of you who are joining, you're going to want to watch the replay because I went in on some TV tips, okay? So you just have to wait till this ends. And let me have another sip of my amazing tea. First of all, let me say this. It's very tempting, and I'll be the first one to admit that I'm in that boat and have been in different parts of this boat, to want to work in multiple markets, okay? It's clearly, why not? Like, I want to work everywhere. I'm going to be worldwide, right? However, starting with your home base is always key because that's where you will work local. This is important. This is why it's important in the Southeast. So that means Atlanta, you know, that area, the Carolinas, even in New York. Every market, Chicago, New York, LA, Atlanta, every market is loyal to their locals for multiple reasons. Number one is money, period. As a local, they don't have to fly you in. They don't have to fly you first class. They don't have to put you in a hotel. They don't have to provide transportation. Like, point blank, period, it's local, it's cheaper, period. Also, they want to rep their locals. They want to rep their locals, which I get. As an actor from New York who moved to Atlanta for 15, 20 years, now lives in LA, but still sometimes works in Atlanta and still auditions in New York, like, it's frustrating because at least in Atlanta, I was there so long, I made great relationships, but those relationships are changing because my career is changing and has grown. And so I'm not mad. When I was in Atlanta, I'd be like, dang, they're bringing all the LA actors down here. We can't ever audition for none of the big stuff, right? And the thing is, it's about know, like, and trust. These casting directors need to know, like, and trust you. And if you can't work local, if you're not a real local, they're gonna know. And so it's nice to say you want to work in multiple markets. And I'll give me an example. I have representation in New York, LA, and Atlanta. Now, I had my New York rep before I got with my LA agent. My managers were on the fence of the more hands in the pot, the merrier. Let's do it. But yes, they have access to all the breakdowns. However, sometimes they're only looking for a local for certain things. So if you're not, and so if I need to, could work local, because what? I'm from the Bronx. I got family. Grandma still lives in the Bronx. I got friends. So it's not a huge deal if the role is just so juicy and they're just not releasing it anywhere else. Most times that's not the case, but a lot of times it is the case with some of the local shows. And if you can't prove that you can be there at the drop of a dime, if you got a call right now, like, we have an audition tomorrow in New York, in Manhattan at 11 a.m. If you can't be there, they're gonna be like, she ain't local, he ain't local. And they're not trying to mess with that because it puts them in a bad position. They're not trying to take that chance. And then, like, I get both sides of it. It's like, if I'm in New York, like as a local, I expect to work on Law and Order, Blind Spot, you know, all the New York shows, like Madam Secretary, like, because those are your shows. LA has the LA shows. Atlanta has the Atlanta shows. So since you cannot work local, Samantha, to answer your question, it really isn't necessary, because you're just going to be, most people in that market are not going to see you. So I have auditioned for stuff from my LA team, managers and agents, that was filming in New York or being cast in New York, and they got me the audition. Conversely, my New York agent has got me auditions for LA stuff and New York stuff. So it really is tricky. However, when there's something local in New York and my New York agent reaches out, he lets me know, hey, this might be this is a good role, but they're not only releasing it local to New York. Do you want to tape for it? But if you get it, you know the deal, which means you're local, which means you really ain't making no money, right? Because you're spending all that on travel and all that stuff. It's a pro and a con. So I hope, Samantha, does that answer your question? Let me not make an assumption. And that's the thing, you know, that whole local thing is it gets tricky, but I totally understand it. And especially having some friends who are casting directors, I flat out heard them say, like, they've been screwed before. People pretend to be local, and then they book something, they book the job, they vouch for them, and then they're like, oh, now you need to fly me in. They're like, what? Or the date changes and now they can't come, or I don't have the money to get there. Like, they're not trying to deal with that. They're not trying to deal with that. Samantha says, so helpful. Awesome. Well, this has been great. Again, I need to get ready to meet up with my Booking Magnet Academy members. We're having our hot seat Q&A call where I do laser coaching on some of the members. If you are looking for a coach and you enjoy these videos and you think I know what I'm talking about, because you might not. You're like, this lady crazy. I don't know how they let her on TV. But if you're looking for a coach and you want to also have community and have support, the Booking Magnet Academy is the #1 virtual online training academy for actors, point blank, period. $27 a month. If you click the link above, I'm giving away half of the year for free. $162 for the entire year. When you log in, there's already 40-something trainings plus hours upon hours of Q&A sessions that are recorded. We do monthly master classes and then 2 hot seat coaching calls, which I'm about to get on and do. So if you say you need help, get help. You can decide to be confused and hope that I put up a video in the next few weeks that will give an answer to your question, or you can click the link above and get the help that you need. I mean, that's it, point blank, period. And if nothing else, because I know how it is to be in a hoop, to feel like I'm in a struggling state, go to my YouTube channel and there's 147 other videos you can catch up on and binge for yourself. And especially as we head into this holiday season and things start to slow down, you know, invest in yourself and treat yourself and honor yourself and your career and your dreams, and take some time to do that for yourself. So if you missed any part of today was awesome. We talked about holding for commercial. Wait till this video will be over in just a second. Replay it and do the homework. Study Mariska, study Kiefer. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments at another time. Have an awesome night. Bye.